Ever wondered why the US dollar is green? The story begins in the early days of American currency. Before paper money, coins were the primary form of trade in the colonies. Carrying heavy coins was cumbersome, especially for merchants and traders. In the late 18th century, the newly formed United States needed a standardized medium of exchange. The Continental Congress issued the first paper notes during the Revolutionary War. These notes were simple, hand-engraved, and easy to counterfeit. Counterfeiting was a huge problem that threatened the fledgling economy. By the mid-19th century, the U.S. Treasury started improving note design to prevent forgery. Initially, inks of black, brown, and red were common. They were used for the text and intricate patterns on the notes. However, these inks were either too expensive or not durable enough. Around 1861, during the Civil War, the government issued the first paper currency known as demand notes. These were the predecessors to modern U.S. dollars. The printing process involved using steel and copper plates for engraving. Counterfeiters quickly learned to replicate these designs. The Treasury needed a solution to make reproduction extremely difficult. In 1862, the Legal Tender Act allowed the issuance of greenbacked notes. These notes were officially called United States notes. Green ink was applied on the back of the bills, creating a distinct and recognizable color. The green ink was chosen for multiple practical reasons. First, it symbolized stability and trustworthiness. Green was considered a color that conveyed permanence and reliability. Second, the chemical composition of green ink was highly resistant to fading. Notes could survive long periods in circulation without losing clarity. Third, green ink was readily available in large quantities for mass printing. This made it cost-effective for the growing demand of paper money. Additionally, green ink was difficult to replicate with the printing technology of the time. This made counterfeiting more challenging. The intricate patterns and greenback reinforced the authenticity of the bills. Collectors and historians note that green became associated with legitimacy and security. Over time, the greenback of the notes became a recognizable feature. By the late 19th century, nearly all U.S. paper currency incorporated green ink on the reverse. The choice of green also had a psychological effect on the public. People subconsciously linked green with prosperity and stability. This helped strengthen confidence in the newly issued legal tender. Even today, the green ink of U.S. bills is a hallmark of trust in the currency. The early Treasury engravers experimented with different shades and formulas. They found that green pigments resisted chemical alteration better than other colors. This added another layer of anti-counterfeiting protection. The combination of color, intricate engraving, and standardized size made duplication extremely difficult. Demand notes, followed by United States notes, set the precedent for the iconic greenback. Merchants and banks gradually accepted these notes because of their durability. Greenbacked bills distinguished themselves from earlier, easily forged notes. By the 1870s, green ink had become the standard for all U.S. currency. The association of green with money became deeply ingrained in American culture. Historians agree that this decision was both practical and symbolic. It was practical in preventing forgery and ensuring longevity. It was symbolic in conveying economic stability and public confidence. The greenback was no longer just a piece of paper. It was a representation of trust. As printing technology advanced, the greenback evolved but retained its signature color. Even modern Federal Reserve notes maintain the tradition of a greenback. Thus, the origin of the US dollar's green color is a blend of necessity, chemistry, and symbolism. This small decision in the 19th century created an iconic look recognized worldwide today. The green color of US currency is not just practical. It carries deep symbolic meaning. During the 19th century, green was associated with growth, stability, and prosperity. These qualities were exactly what the fledgling United States wanted to project to its citizens. Green represented trust and confidence in the new financial system. It also distinguished official currency from other notes and documents. This visual distinction was crucial in a time when forgery was rampant. The choice of green was also influenced by the chemistry of the inks. Green pigments contained compounds that resisted chemical alteration and fading. This made it difficult for counterfeiters to bleach or alter the notes. Even if someone tried to change the denomination, the green background remained resistant. Treasury engravers experimented with different shades to maximize security. They discovered that darker greens were harder to replicate accurately. The printing technology of the era played a significant role in the greenback's development. Notes were engraved on steel plates with incredible detail. The intricate patterns combined with green ink created a texture that was nearly impossible to copy. Engravers used fine lines, scrollwork, and geometric patterns to add complexity. The green ink enhanced these patterns, making slight deviations noticeable to the naked eye. By the early 20th century, the U.S. Bureau of Engraving and Printing refined the use of green ink further. They developed formulas that ensured color consistency across thousands of notes. This uniformity strengthened public confidence in the currency. No matter where a person received a greenback, they knew it was legitimate. Symbolically, green began to take on cultural meaning as well. People started associating green with money itself, not just the US dollar. Terms like greenback entered everyday language, reinforcing the color-money connection. Merchants, bankers, and the general public began to view green as a symbol of wealth and security. Technology and symbolism intertwined when new anti-counterfeiting measures were introduced. Microprinting, intricate engravings, and watermarks were all enhanced by the green background. The color made subtle details stand out, helping bank tellers and citizens verify authenticity. Even today, when high-tech printers can easily replicate images, the green background adds a layer of difficulty. The greenback also influenced global perceptions of money. Other nations took note of the U.S. success in creating a recognizable, stable currency. Some incorporated green into their own notes, inspired by the durability and trustworthiness of the dollar. The green color helped the dollar become iconic, both domestically and internationally. By the mid-20th century, the US dollar was firmly established as the world's leading currency. Its greenback became a recognizable symbol of stability, trust, and global economic power. Even in popular culture, movies, literature, and advertising reinforced the association of green with cash. The combination of symbolism, chemistry, and technology ensured the longevity of the greenback. Treasury officials continuously improved ink formulas to resist modern threats. Advances in anti-counterfeiting technology still rely on color contrast, and green remains central. Green is more than a color. It is a security feature, a psychological tool, and a cultural icon. It reassures citizens, intimidates counterfeiters, and promotes economic stability. Without the decision to use green ink, the history of US currency might have been very different. Every note in your wallet carries centuries of planning, chemistry, and cultural significance. The legacy of greenbacks continues today. Modern Federal Reserve notes retain green ink alongside other colors for security features. Yet the symbolism of trust, prosperity, and stability remains intact. This combination of practical and symbolic reasoning explains why green is still central to the US dollar. The green color of the US dollar is not just history. It has a profound cultural impact. Over time, the public began associating green with wealth, security, and financial power. The term greenback became common in everyday language. It referred not only to US currency but to money in general. Movies, literature, and advertising reinforced the connection between green and money. Even today, people instinctively link the color green with financial stability. Greenbacks influenced international perceptions of the US economy. Other nations recognized the dollar's consistency and security. They began to design their own currencies with unique colors for identification and trust. However, the greenback remained iconic due to its history and symbolism. It became a global benchmark for reliable currency. Modern printing technology continues to respect the tradition of green. Federal Reserve notes incorporate multiple security features, yet the green background remains central. Advanced inks, microprinting, color-shifting elements, and watermarks complement the iconic green. The choice of green was validated once again by its enduring practicality. Green also serves a psychological purpose in modern finance. People perceive green as stable, trustworthy, and valuable. This subtle psychological reinforcement increases confidence in the dollar. It reassures citizens, investors, and international markets alike. Throughout the 20th century, the greenback became a symbol of US economic power. During global crises, people trusted the dollar to maintain value. Even when other currencies fluctuated, the greenback remained a safe haven. Its color played a small but meaningful role in reinforcing this perception. Pop culture amplified the greenback's iconic status. In films, television, and music, Stacks of green bills symbolize success and wealth. The green dollar is instantly recognizable worldwide. Artists and advertisers often use it to evoke financial prosperity and ambition. Technological advances have not diminished the importance of green. Modern anti-counterfeiting features rely on color contrast, and green continues to be crucial. High-resolution printing, embedded threads, and color-shifting inks work best against the green background. This ensures that the greenback is both visually iconic and secure. The symbolism of green also influences how people think about money in general. Financial literacy programs often use green imagery to represent savings, income, and investment. Children and adults alike associate green with earning and spending. This deep cultural connection strengthens the dollar's presence in society. From a historical perspective, the decision to use green ink was visionary. It was more than a simple printing choice. It was a strategic blend of chemistry, symbolism, and technology. Green became a color that represented trust in the financial system. It communicated stability to citizens and challenged counterfeiters effectively. Today, the greenback continues to dominate global finance. Its color is instantly identifiable, universally recognized, and culturally significant. From Wall Street to small businesses, from international markets to everyday wallets, green is synonymous with money. The greenback is not just paper. It is an enduring symbol of economic power and trust. Every dollar note in your hand carries a story. A story of chemistry, engineering, and cultural psychology. A story that began over 150 years ago with a simple decision to use green ink. A story that continues to shape the perception of money worldwide. The greenback's legacy teaches us that small decisions can have lasting impacts. A simple choice of color helped secure an entire economy. It shaped global perceptions, reinforced trust, and created an iconic symbol. The greenback is a testament to the blend of science, design, and cultural influence. So next time you hold a dollar bill, remember that its color is more than green. It is a symbol of trust, history, stability, and power. Greenbacks are living proof that thoughtful design can influence society, culture, and the world economy. If you want to uncover more insane stories behind money, hit subscribe and turn on notifications now.